Are you looking to interconnect your Minecraft world? Maybe it's to make projects easier or to make world building easier, but whatever you're doing, you should consider building nether, land, and sea routes, and ornaments between them to flesh out your world. If you've spent any amount of time in your Minecraft world, chances are you've uncovered plenty of locations you need to access easily and quickly. One of the easiest ways to connect your Minecraft world is building a Nether Superhighway, or fast travel system. You've likely made it to the Nether for resources, and setting up multiple portals makes it much easier to transport resources when you're working on projects across your Minecraft world. And I would encourage you to make sure that your Nether isn't boring. You can design your Nether to be a lot more interesting. You don't have to leave raw netherrack walls. Instead, I would encourage you to be creative. And maybe an ice highway is the kind of thing you need because your Minecraft world is very vast and you need to get places that are very far away very quickly. But for me personally, minecarts serve well enough. And my nether is, well, I have tunneled all of those places and replaced all of the netherrack because for the most part, I really don't think that netherrack looks that great, at least when you're going through tunnels that you've dug out. And so theoretically, with those tunnels that I've replaced the netherrack with, you could, for a brief moment, maybe forget that you're in the nether. Well, until you find the next patch of netherrack, that is. And also, beside that point, I think it's a really good way of highlighting where you're going. If I use desert blocks in my nether tunnel, then you can expect to go towards a desert. And if I use mesa blocks, well, I guess Badlands is the biome now. If I use Badlands blocks, so terracotta, then you can expect that you're probably going to go to that kind of biome. Snowy blocks, a snowy biome. Using those kind of designs can also just be very useful because it's nicely designed. It's not just netherrack, but at the same time, it also communicates to you where you're going. So you don't have to pay attention too much to where you are because all you have to do is look at the walls to know where you are. And something about that is that I also have another specific design motif for my nether tunnels. And that's that with my nether routes, they're kind of inspired by Pokemon Ultra Sun, Ultra Moons, Ultra Wormholes. That's why I have a sort of like white outline and then a colored pattern. And essentially the idea with that is that, you know, it serves as like a fast travel in that game, at least going to other dimensions. And in the Minecraft world, you're literally going to another dimension, the Nether, so that you can fast travel in the overworld. So I think it seems kind of relevant. And you're using it as an intermediary, so that's basically what I said. And whatever you decide, another network, it just makes it much faster to move around your world, whether you're working on projects that are really far away from each other, or you just like to travel between locations you'd like to see much faster. Whatever you want to do, another route and highway is probably going to be the best thing you can do for your Minecraft world. But I'm sure maybe you just enjoy the bliss of walking around your Minecraft world too. Settle up on your horse and go on an adventure. But ideally, that means that you have roads. If you engage with villages in any capacity, every so often you'll probably see a path that just shoots way out from the village. And it begs the question, is that potentially maybe an exit path of the village? And if you see those kind of paths, why not connect your Minecraft world? By connecting villages and other things that you've built using whatever kind of paths you want. I actually prefer the look of grassy path blocks, but maybe you prefer the older gravel or your own unique kind of roads. Maybe something a little more paved would be a little bit nicer. But whatever you want to do, I think paths are really important because even if it's just for you to travel around your world using just, land transport, I think that paths actually serve a really vital purpose because if you're connecting locations that are really far away from each other, you're probably connecting to spots that are important to you. And by that, I mean they're very developed. Maybe you have a mega base and then you've got the nearby village that's connected to you so you can easily trade. If you're doing things like that, when you build a path between those locations, there's a really, really good chance that you can build little small curiosities along the way. For example, in my Minecraft world, south of Wolfox is some ruined structures. They kind of look like they were like really old, like because they're made out of stone, but also they are not really well articulated. I don't address them in any of the lore of my Minecraft world. I could at some point, I suppose. And, well, I guess they're really near a ruined portal, so I think you might be able to figure out what happened to them. But I like the idea of being able to build little curiosities around your paths because I'm sure if you play Minecraft as extensively as I do, that you're probably going to have really, really big projects. And it can be really overwhelming and daunting to work on those all the time because, for the most part, it requires a lot of dedication and effort and resources. And sometimes you just want to work on something that is, well, a little easier to complete so that you can feel like you're making a lot more progress. These little curiosities are a really good chance to do that. And in another spot in my world, for example, there is a path connecting a little port and then another area of villages. And along that path is, well, someone's house, another player. And their house is, well, it's kind of like a curiosity because, I mean, it's really tiny and you probably might not go into it, but the idea with it is that it's something to look at and it makes your paths just feel a little less barren, let's say. There's things to look at. And you might want to consider other potential things too. If you're building a more modern Minecraft world, for example, you might want to consider building, telephone poles or those kind of structures. Or if you're in maybe a little more of a medieval Minecraft world, building torches or, placing torches, I suppose, around those paths is a good idea so that it feels like those paths are actually safe. But you can also use that to delineate different paths that are maybe less safe. So, for example, if there are wandering traders in Minecraft, so it stands to reason you could, if you were to connect your villages or your structures, the wandering traders, maybe they use those paths. So if you have well-lit paths, it makes it really clear that those are probably more likely to be, well, actually used roads that are really well, worn, that they need lighting. And then you can have other paths that aren't so much like that. And those are good to consider because, just more curiosities to make your paths look interesting. And, well, if you're doing that with your paths, there's lots more chances to detail your Minecraft world, and that's just more opportunities to world build and, like I said, add projects to your world that are maybe a little bit smaller in scale. So you don't have to feel like you're as stressed about projects. You have a little bit smaller ones that are easier to digest, easier to work on, and connecting your builds with paths, I think it's just a good way to make your Minecraft world feel just so much more connected and much easier for you to decide where you might want to add projects to. And lastly, I wanted to go over some more unique transport methods and route systems that may not be the most directly useful for playing Minecraft, but are something you should consider because they're, well, interesting, and I think if you use them correctly, can really help you in your Minecraft world that may not be, let's say, the most ubiquitous style. If you want a more unique Minecraft experience, and these are probably the projects you might want to work on. One of the ones I really wanted to mention was, for more so than world building than utility, you can build ports or maybe just docks around your Minecraft world. And the idea here is that if you find yourself boating around the ocean, or maybe you just like to boat around the ocean a lot more if there was actually spots to go, the idea here is if there's a location you find yourself going to, let's say there's a forested area across the ocean, and that you like to go to because you need to get, dark oak wood or some sort of wood variety that's not really close to you, and you find it a lot more appealing to actually go to that forest than just, I don't know, just spawning a bunch of trees near you, although that's usually what I prefer to do. But if you're doing that in your Minecraft world, well, why not just construct a port or some sort of dock so that when you do go there, you clearly know where you need to go, or at the very least, that's a spot that you've been before. Because I do think that when you play your Minecraft world, there's a good chance that there are locations you've visited, but you don't make it very clear to you when you play later on, for example, that you've actually been there before, other than if you, look at chunk viewers. So it's a good idea if you're going around your Minecraft world that even if you are finding yourself not there for very long, it might be worth building just a little small structure to remind yourself that it's a place you've been. And I'm going to be honest with you, I do think that if you build docks right, and especially if you're, chopping wood, then it's pretty easy to build them because they're really cheap in resources. It's probably like at most, a couple logs to reach the bottom of uh, whatever waterway you're at, whether it be an ocean or a river. And then you just need a couple of maybe planks, but you could also just use slabs because I think that's cheaper. And if you do those things, well, your Minecraft world will just feel much more naturally connected. And also, there's lots of shipwrecks around the Minecraft world. So I think it's pretty realistic for you to build lots of ports around the world because it just makes sense. And along with that, I think I've covered it before, but if you use Elytra travel a lot, I think it's worth considering building Elytra towers or some sort of launch points that let you easily reach other parts of your world without having to expend as many rockets as you, well, I guess they're more like fireworks, but they basically serve the purpose as rockets. If you're using fireworks, if you find yourself using fireworks a lot, is what I meant to say, then you should consider building these launch towers. They might even be augmented structures that you've already built. For example, I have a couple of lighthouses that I've made so that it's possible you could also launch off from them. And that just makes it a lot easier to route around your Minecraft world if you prefer a more sky-based travel method. Maybe you have floating islands around your Minecraft world. Maybe your Minecraft world looks totally different. Maybe there's like actually floating islands. Like you have the void below you. I don't know what your Minecraft world looks like, but whatever you're doing, I do think that Elytra travel is probably going to be one of your best methods because it's just going to be a lot faster to navigate around the world, at least when you're in the overworld. Because if you're in the Nether, I do think that Nether travel is going to be your best bet. And in closing with this video, I hope that you have a bunch of different tools in your tool set to decide how you should route your Minecraft world. Using these different methods in conjunction with each other makes it a lot easier for you to decide where you want to build new projects, where you think your Minecraft world is needing a little bit more detail, and maybe, just maybe, where your Minecraft world needs more connection points. Maybe your Minecraft world isn't as connected as you thought it was, and maybe you'd also like to consider other methods. Maybe if I can throw in just one more before I let you go. If you build minecart rails in the overworld, it's kind of expensive connecting parts of the world like that, but it's something that's kind of fun. And if it's not too bad for you because you have iron golem farms, then you should consider building rails around your Minecraft world in the overworld, even though it's a little bit expensive, because it'll just make your Minecraft world a little bit more fun, and you'll have a lot more connected of a world.